unleash hell. I had to kill, so I kill.
Tell me your name.
My name is Maximus Decimus Meridius. Commander of the armies of the North. Loyal servant to the true Emperor, Marcus Aurelius. Father to a murdered son. Husband to a murdered wife. And I will have my vengeance. In this life or the next. Win the crown. And you'll win your freedom. Are you not entertained?
Today I saw a slave become more powerful than the Emperor of Rome.
There we go. Welcome, everybody, to the third episode of Blockbuster Month.
Summer Blockbusters.
Summer Blockbuster Month.
Are you not entertained?
Are you not, sweetie? Just tilt your head to the right a little bit. Other way. Like
This way?
move away just so we can see what's behind you.
Oh, yeah. There's my guy. There's Maximus.
Maximus Decimus. I missed the bus.
You missed the bus.
We all missed the bus.
We all missed the bus.
Magna cum laude. Summa cum laude. The radio's too loud. I gotta see if I can find that. That's from Johnny Dangerously. Whenever we do the This One's For Me week,
we're doing Johnny Dangerously.
Either Johnny Dangerously or Midnight Run or Summer School or something that nobody's going to want to listen to.
So, but because that's not today, we are doing the movie Gladiator, which was definitely a summer blockbuster and happens to be one of my top 3 favorite movies of all time.
Oh my gosh.
I'm pretty excited
about
this.
That's a warm take right there.
It's a hot one.
It is hot.
And I knew it was in my top 5, but we watched it again last night. I've seen Gladiator so many times.
Yes.
Like it was like a background movie in my 20s and 30s. I watched it all the time. And last night I watched it and I'm like, I never don't like this movie. Is that a sentence? I never don't like it.
Said another way, I always like this movie.
I'm always moved. I'm always...
Were you wiping away tears last night?
Of course. I always cry in Gladiator. I'm also not just moved to tears. I am moved to pride. I am moved to the things are... This is how it should be. And when I say that, I don't mean Commodus. I mean the way that Maximus is.
Our protagonist.
And there's something about it that gives me a lot of feeling. And there's something I feel very connected to it. Maybe in a past life, I was there.
Never know.
You
just ran our numbers and apparently we were together in a past life.
Yes. When you say our numbers, you mean we did our birth chart.
That's what I meant.
Right. And I guess there are numbers involved. So you're not that far off. But Todd and I definitely knew each other in a past life, which doesn't surprise me at all. And I was an entertainer. I was a performer.
Easy, Billy Joel. And the entertainer.
And Todd was at home being very grounded and making sure we made money.
Yes.
So we've learned many things about our past lives, but maybe I was around in the Gladiator times.
Hopefully you would come back as a man because what's her name?
Lucilla.
Lucilla, she was not invited to do anything.
He's like, if you'd only been born a man, what a Caesar you would have been.
Yeah.
And that's what her dad said to her. And it's kind of a bummer because she did have a moral
code. A little
code.
late on the sound effect, but.
Here it is. What's this? Oh, the entertainer.
It's quite a long, let's see.
Today I am your champion.
It's a great song.
I thought you were going to play Johnny Dangerously.
No, I couldn't find it. Well, the internet literally has everything.
How does it not have Johnny Dangerously?
It doesn't have the scene in Johnny Dangerously where he's going down the aisle to go get electrocuted. And
you missed the bus.
The fake priest is there saying things that sound like they're in Latin, but they're not. Actually,
that was besides many movies that Todd and I bonded over when we first met. We just had quotes that we said. That Johnny Dangerously one was something you said to me, and I said, I can't believe you know that one.
Oh yeah,
because we said that all the time.
It's one of the best.
You missed the bus.
I missed the bus. We all missed the bus. Magna cum laude, summa cum laude. The radio's too loud. When's the next bus?
Oh God. Sorry we can't play it for you, but
my God, I got it.
Oh, you found it?
I got it.
Oh, good.
Cum laude, magnum cum laude. The radio's too loud. Adjusted fidelis, semper fidelis, high fidelis.
Why didn't I take shots?
Fourth meridian, anti-meridian, uncle meridian. Oh, the little meridian.
Oh, sorry. Very out of context, but that's a Michael Keaton movie.
That's what I love about this podcast. Little did we know I was going to be playing a scene from Johnny Dangerously in the Gladiator podcast.
Well, let's get back to Gladiator because I have 14 pages.
Okay. Should we go ahead and set the scene?
Well, can you usually ask me what I feel about this movie?
Well, I feel like that's what you started with.
Well, let me say another thing.
Say some more things about how you're feeling about this.
I found it so enjoyable for that 2 hours.
2.5, I think.
To trust who is leading and to watch someone with a moral code. It was like, it just fills me up because honestly, and I know it's a movie, but I don't even see that in movies very much anymore. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I can go watch Forrest Gump, or I can go like find these movies, but there's something about Gladiator that is so powerful to me because there is, it all starts with Marcus Aurelius and what he wants, and that he wants to pass something down that somebody is willing to fight for and to die for. And, and again, different times, it's extreme measures. We're not in the Roman Empire anymore, but
or are we? Well, we literally listened to this on June 14th, which happened to be the same night as whatever the cage match or the UFC thing.
Todd, that's under my WTF.
Okay. Yeah. Well, let's save it for WTF.
All right.
Now can I go to set
please,
the scene?
Please.
Okay. Let's do that. All right. Set the scene. So this movie came out in 2000?
2001, I believe, or maybe came out in 2000 and crossed over into 2001.
It says 2000, but
I think you're right because it was the 2001 Academy Awards, which it's always the next year.
So just the cast of characters, we got Russell Crowe, who plays Maximus Decimus Meridius. Joaquin is Commodus, power-hungry patriarchal emperor. Connie Nielsen plays Lucilla. She's the sister. Oliver Reed is Antonius Proximo.
They just call him Proximo.
And he's the gladiator trainer. Jimon Hanu, I can't pronounce this.
Jimon Hansu.
Wow, good job, baby.
Thank you.
As Juba, Maximus's closest friend and fellow slave. Richard Harris is the emperor, Marcus Aurelius. Derek Jacobi, who cares? Ralph, blah, blah, blah. I don't care about that.
Wait, who is Derek Jacobi? Is that Cicero?
No, Senator Gracchus.
Oh, he's Gracchus. Yeah. Okay.
It was awarded 5 Academy Awards in the 73rd Oscar, 2001. Best Picture, Best Actor, that's Russell Crowe. Best Costume Design, Best Sound, Best Visual Effects. It was nominated for 12, but only won 5. And Joaquin did not win.
No,
for
he did
supporting.
Not. No.
Do you remember who did?
Yes, Benicio del Toro won for Traffic.
And he was kind of amazing in that. So if you had one vote for that Academy Award, who would you have voted for between, and I'll give you the other nominees who I think are not as good. Jeff Bridges, who I love in The Contender, William Dafoe, Shadow of the Vampire, and Albert Finney and Aaron Brockovich, who I absolutely love in that movie.
That's a great movie.
You have one vote, Kathy Kasani Adams. Who are you voting for?
Joaquin Phoenix.
Really?
Commodus.
Is that easy for you?
Very.
Is it because you've seen Gladiator a bazillion times and you've only seen Traffic twice?
Yeah. I mean, part of it's that. I love Benicio del Toro. He was my favorite part of the movie that we just watched with Leo DiCaprio.
The Paul Thomas Anderson movie?
Yeah, the Paul Thomas Anderson movie. I loved it. He was my favorite thing in that movie. Yep. I wanted him to win over Sean Penn.
Yep.
So I love him as an actor, but this is what I believe an Academy Award is for. Joaquin is terrifying in this movie. And how do you be terrifying when you're a young man who's pretty attractive? And it's just I've actually got a top 10 list of why Commodus is vile, and we can do that now or later. But he is vile. And I also, there's all this background about Joaquin playing this role and how nervous he was to do it. And the fact that he was able to give this performance that just stands the test of time.
He kind of reminded me of the same character, not the same character, but same energy in the movie To Die For with Nicole Kidman.
Yeah.
Which is kind of out of it a little bit. But anyway, so I will just say everybody loves Joaquin in this movie. And I do too, more so after seeing it last night. But before then, I feel like I had a very short-sighted view of him because he's such a sleazeball, unattractive, bad person. I kind of lumped the character in with the actor, which is obviously stupid.
But sweetie, it's Gary.
I know, it's Gary.
It's Gary from Parenthood.
So anyways, Joaquin, nice job. Well done.
Yeah, that's an easy one for me. And he ended up getting an Academy Award for Walk the Line when he played Johnny Cash.
That's my band, baby.
That's my band, baby. Oh, actually, he didn't. No. I'm lying. He was nominated. Reese Witherspoon won, but he won for Joker.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm wrong.
Okay.
He should have made. Well, I don't know. I haven't done enough investigation to know if he should have won for Walk the Line.
Who he,
but he was nominated.
Yeah.
So, but actually, can I say something about the awards?
Sure. And then after that, I'm going to do the 3-act summary to remind people from this movie from 26 years ago.
Great. So just a few things about the Academy Awards. It was a really, really interesting awards year. A few things happened that have never happened before. So first of all, the people who were nominated for Best Actor were amazing. It was like a kind of a tough year, a lot of good people going up against each other, big names. But it turns out that for the Golden Globes, the SAG Awards, the BAFTAs, and the Oscars, a different person won for Best Actor.
Oh, wow.
So at the Golden Globes, Tom Hanks won for Castaway, which totally makes sense, right? Yeah. The only reason it's not great is because, it is great because I love Tom Hanks, but he had already won for Philadelphia and Forrest Gump.
Yeah, it's time to take a backseat, Tom Hanks. I love you, but come on.
Right. And it was a few years later. So it was several years later. It wasn't like it wasn't 3 in a row, but it was kind of like Tom Hanks was winning everything. Then the SAG Awards, which is the Screen Actors Guild Awards, usually the person who wins the SAG Award tends to win the Oscar. Now, that's not always, but there's a voting block that is in SAG and in the Oscar category. So, or in the Oscar voting. So there tends to be an overlap. But what happened this year is that Benicio del Toro won for Traffic, the SAG Award for Best Actor. But in the Oscars, he was Best Supporting. So it was just where they put him.
Interesting.
Okay. But then, Todd, you'll love this. I loved this. And I remember this, but I was reminded when I was reading. The BAFTAs, which is the British Oscars, basically. Jamie Bell won for Billy Elliot.
Oh, very good.
Yeah. So that was kind of fun. So then I remember, and this is a little bit of a remember when, but I'm going to step on the category. I remember watching this Academy Awards, and I really, I don't know who I thought was going to win, but I didn't think it was going to be Russell Crowe. Maybe I thought it was going to be Tom Hanks. I don't know. But I remember when they called his name at the Oscars and being like, oh my gosh. And I think, if I remember correctly, I had not seen Gladiator yet.
Wow.
So I didn't have an appreciation. Yeah. Like my memory of Russell Crowe winning was, right.
Yeah.
And now
you're glad.
Oh my gosh. And he won again for A Beautiful Mind. So, he got another Academy Award. But I just think he's so good in this movie. It wouldn't, if he wasn't the Maximus that he is, I wouldn't have the emotion that I do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because someone could do this role and be tough and a fighter, but there's something so warm about Russell Crowe in this movie, which I know is like kind of ironic because I don't think he was thought of as that way. And it sounds like there was a lot of behind the scenes arguing in this movie while it was being made. But I just find him to be so lovely in a weird way. I kind of feel like if someone hasn't seen this movie in a while, they're like, what are you talking about? Because it's very violent. But anyway, so go ahead now.
Just so we know, Russell Crowe beat Javier Bardem in Before Night Falls, Tom Hanks, Castaway, Ed Harris, and Pollock, and Jeffrey Rush in Quills, whatever that is.
Jeffrey Rush tended to get nominated for everything, and he won for Shine. I think it's like these names that keep coming up.
Yeah.
So
the 3-act summary. Act 1, Roman General Maximus leads his army to victory against the Germanic tribes, earning the deep respect of the dying Emperor Marcus Aurelius. When the emperor's jealous son Commodus murders his father and seizes the throne, Maximus refuses allegiance, resulting in the brutal murder of his family and his own capture into slavery. Act 2. Forced into the brutal world of provincial blood sports, Maximus rises through the ranks as an exceptionally skilled and charismatic gladiator under the tutelage of Proximo. His immense popularity eventually earns him a ticket to the Grand Games of Rome when he conceals his identity while plotting his ultimate revenge in the Colosseum. And finally, in Act 3, Maximus reveals his identity to his stunned Commodus and secretly allies with Senator Gracchus and Lucilla to stage a coup against the tyrannical emperor. And it almost worked, sweetie. Almost.
It almost did.
Though the plot is betrayed and Maximus is captured, a desperate Commodus challenges him to a rigged duel in the arena where Maximus kills the emperor before dying and reuniting with his family.
That was definitely an AI summary because you used the word tutelage.
No, that I use that all the time.
Do you?
Yeah, I wrote that.
You wrote the tutelage. You chose that as
I don't really know what tutelage means, but yes. So a wonderful movie. And I decided, I usually take notes for the in prep for the podcast, and I decided not to take notes.
And just watch.
Yeah, because I didn't want to be, it's kind of, here's total different story. Accounting class in college, sweetie.
Okay.
Turns out I hated accounting. And I tried really hard to get a C. Usually if I try really hard, I get an A or a B. And I'm like, I'm doing something wrong. So instead of taking notes, I just really locked in on the teacher.
How'd that go?
Took no notes. It didn't help.
Yeah.
Actually, it made it worse.
Yeah. So how did this work out?
I don't know. We're about to do it. We'll see what happens.
Okay, good. Well, I did both. Because I've seen the movie so much, I knew exactly what was coming, and I decided to write down the things that really struck me. You know, you may have said this, Todd, but something that is worth noting before we move on is that the budget for this movie was $103 million and the box office was $466 million.
Not bad.
So thus a summer blockbuster.
This
movie made, which is why we chose it. So it like surpassed 103 million within 2 weeks. Like it made all its money back. Second highest grossing film of 2000. And then also it basically brought back this whole, like, I think what they call it is like, Gladiator inspired movies. I think they call them like Sand and Sandal or something like that. I can't remember.
Yeah.
You know, there's some, Swords and Sandals genre. I wrote it down. Thank goodness. And so many things. It inspired Troy, Pompeii, Kingdom of Heaven, 300, Centurion, Alexander, Robin Hood, Immortals, on TV, Spartacus, Rome, Barbarians. And then most interesting to my children and to me is the Hunger Games. The Hunger Games was based on what this movie offered and just the whole Roman Empire.
And I would say they're all inferior to this movie.
Absolutely.
However, I think a lot of people love 300.
And a lot of people loved Rome. On HBO.
Oh, really?
I remember that. Yeah, I think 300, it was more about the way it was filmed.
Yeah, I think you're right.
It had like weird effects in it. Troy was the Brad Pitt movie. I don't think that did very well. But anyway, yeah, that's kind of the movie.
Remember when? Or did you already do that?
I could do this thing under Remember When.
What do you got?
Actually, I don't know if this fits under Remember.
Well, let me start.
Okay.
I just remember when we lived on Schubert.
In Chicago.
And the 2 flat.
Yes.
And we would always fall asleep watching a movie. That's kind of our jam. 25 years later, we're still doing that. We watched Wall Street last night and went to bed. And you just got on a rhythm of this movie for like...
every day.
Maybe like 6 months.
I know.
And you never got sick of it. And I never really got into it. But anyways, that's my only Remember When.
I think I watched it almost every day. Like it was because it was on a channel.
Yeah.
Like it was on one of the movie channels we had. So basically Todd and I lived on the west side of Chicago and I worked in Lincoln Park. So in Chicago. And I had a pretty tough job. Like I worked in a partial hospitalization unit with kids who had behavioral and emotional challenges. And, I just kind of it was a lot of work and I got hit a lot and just was very tired when I came home. Let's just say that. Let's just say I didn't want to cook when I got home and I didn't want to see people when I got home. And I just wanted to watch Gladiator when
I remember
got home.
you eating a lot of toasted oatmeal squares, but maybe that's when you're pregnant with JC.
And pierogies.
A lot of pierogies.
Yeah, good Chicagoan eats pierogies. Yeah. But yeah, I just remember, and we had, for some reason, the place I felt safest, and I guess this kind of makes sense, was in our bedroom.
Yeah.
So I would I think I was still, I'm having a deep thought. Okay. Oh. So I lived by myself for about 4 years before Todd and I moved in together. Mm-hmm. And I lived in a studio apartment and then kind of upgraded to 1 bedroom, but it was still like a really tiny space. And I always used to like eat my food in front of the TV. I lived alone. I did what I wanted to do. And when I moved in with you, we had a family room. I think we even had a dining room table.
Yeah, we borrowed it from my dad where he left it.
But I felt more comfortable.
You spent a lot of time in
eating
that bedroom.
In the bedroom. It was like I was transitioning to, because I used to eat, in my studio, my bed was my couch, right? So everything was in the same place. Yeah. So I'm thinking about that now. And I think there was some safety because I didn't really know the neighborhood very well.
You're further away from either the front or the back door in our bedroom. Whereas if you're in the living room, you're right next to our front door.
Correct. And we had those big bay windows. And I think I just really wanted to like cozy in.
Yeah, I remember.
It was just a time. Yeah. But it's funny that I would watch Gladiator.
Yeah.
Like that's funny.
Yeah, it's pretty heavy after a long day with children that are challenged.
Yeah, it was interesting. So, but yes, that is definitely my deepest remember when, because I definitely was watching all the time. And I also, this isn't really a remember when, but I'm going to say it anyway, is that, do you remember another movie that uses the word Elysium?
Yeah. It is Jennifer Aniston, Paul Rudd, called, what is it called?
It's called Wanderlust.
Wanderlust.
So at the very beginning of Gladiator, when Maximus is having all of his men go fight and they're all set up, it's just such a good, I love the beginning of this movie. And he says to them, basically just go. And he's like, an Elysium will be waiting for you if you die. It's like, and he's very,
I don't know what Elysium means.
Well, and that's the thing, is Elysium is the Roman concept of the afterlife. It's like a paradise where noble soldiers go.
Okay.
So Maximus always knew he would go there. That's where he's going to meet his family. That's the whole gist of the movie, is his wife and his son die. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I'm going to meet them in Elysium. And that's the place he's always envisioning.
Be weird if they met him at Elysium in Wanderlust. Now that's a movie.
In Wanderlust, it's like a bed and breakfast that is run by a bunch of hippies. It's like a commune, but they call it Elysium because it's like their nirvana. It's like their, and that would be another movie that would be one for us.
Yeah.
Like
nobody would listen to
Nobody would listen to it.
And we might do it anyways.
Because Wanderlust is so funny to us.
Yeah. And I don't understand why it didn't turn into like a super an awesome comedy for most people's awareness.
I guess because people didn't watch it 800 times.
Bad marketing? I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it's not that good.
It is.
Maybe we just think it's funny.
No, we're right. Everybody else is wrong.
Okay, I guess. So that is it for Remember When.
Jared, do you know the human head weighs 8 pounds? Jared, do you know the human head weighs 8 pounds?
Okay. Random facts. I was going to go over best scenes. Let's do random facts, and we'll go back and forth.
Okay.
Before Russell Crowe was cast, Antonio Banderas, Tom Cruise, and Mel Gibson were all considered for Maximus. Mm-hmm. Gibson turned it down because he was already committed to The Patriot. I'm kind of glad that he turned it down. 1, because Russell Crowe's amazing. 2, we just saw
he just did
him
Braveheart.
In Braveheart.
Yeah, same thing.
And as violent as this movie is, I think Braveheart is even a lot more violent.
Well, that's kind of, as long as we're talking about that, that's kind of the interesting thing about Gladiator for me is if you've been listening to me talk about movies, when I go to a horror movie, I close my eyes, I look away. I don't like to see blood and guts. I don't like kills per se, which you would say to me, then why are you watching Gladiator? There's a way that Ridley Scott films this movie that you kind of see it and you kind of don't. It's very quick cuts.
Yeah. It's not gruesome for the sake of being gruesome.
No, it's not gratuitous. Like, I'm going to make you hear this and see this. Now, some of it's pretty rough. Like a woman gets cut in half. I mean, come on. Like, it is barbaric. Mm-hmm. It's supposed to be barbaric, but there is like We didn't really even talk about Ridley Scott. We talked about his brother, Tony Scott, a couple weeks ago when we did the summer blockbuster Top Gun. Ridley Scott, this was kind of his style. You know, this is the kind of movies that he made or continues to make, because he just did one recently, didn't he? Didn't Ridley Scott just do a movie? Well, he did Gladiator 2.
Yeah.
So, you know, maybe we'll talk about that at the end if we have time. But anyway, so this movie has a way of not, I looked away at certain points, but it doesn't bother me as much as your average bloody film.
And maybe it's because you've seen it a bazillion times.
Maybe I know what's coming.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, next one, because I'll do a few of them, then it'll be your turn.
Sure.
Jude Law. I don't know if I buy all these, but I'll say it anyway. Jude Law auditioned for Commodus. J-Lo reportedly auditioned for Lucilla.
I could see that.
But
I
guess J-Lo's been around that long, right?
Absolutely.
Lou Ferrigno as the Incredible Hulk was cast as Tigress of Gaul before being replaced by this other guy.
You know exactly who that is, right? The guy who takes the spoonful of his... Yeah. He looks like a Lou Ferrigno.
Oh, no, the guy who takes a spoon of his food is his ally. Tigress of Gaul, I think, is the
the one he's fighting against.
With the tigers.
You're right.
Oliver Reed died of a heart attack. He played the Proximo character.
Correct.
In Malta, May 2nd, 1999, 3 weeks before principal photography ended. The insurance company offered $25 million to reshoot all his scenes with another actor. Scott refused. Reed was completely digitally using a body double and existing footage, and the film is dedicated to him. I didn't see a dedication to him. Did you?
I didn't, but do you know what scenes they digitally put him in?
No.
I meant to check that because I knew that going into the movie.
I wasn't paying attention.
But yeah, and you know, just to add on top of that, Oliver Reed, who plays Proximo, he and Russell Crowe fought a lot. They did not like each other.
Weren't big fans of one another. Yeah. Although Russell Crowe was pretty good buds with the Emperor guy, Harris.
Richard Harris? Yeah, they became really good friends. Mm-hmm.
All right, your turn.
Let's see. Those tigers were real.
Yeah.
They were real tigers on set, just like in the movie The Hangover.
It's pretty cool.
Let's see. Hans Zimmer's score to this movie, which is part of the reason that I'm moved by this movie, is because of the score. The way there is obviously the score underneath it, which is the like music, and then there's like a voice.
Mm-hmm.
And so Hans Zimmer did the music, and the voice is by a woman named Lisa, I think Gerard, and it's like I don't know how to describe it. It's like an angelic kind of sound. And so everything is a little more moving. It's like other life, you know, otherworldly. So it's a wonderful soundtrack.
This is called Elysium.
Oh, that's where he's going. This is when he's going to meet his...
Pretty moving.
Oh.
Right?
So moving.
So good.
And his wife and son are waiting.
Hans Zimmer. He knew what he was doing.
He sure did. So the "Am I Not Merciful?" line by Commodus or Joaquin Phoenix was improvised. And again, I had already written that down before I watched last night, and he says it twice. He says it quietly, and then he grabs Lucilla's face and says it really
sternly,
evilly. Evil-y, evilly.
Got it.
So it probably was, after he was done, was like, they were probably surprised.
Yeah.
And some part of the reason there was a lot of, I guess, improvisation on this set. And part of it was because the screenplay wasn't done.
Yeah.
Like they were.
What are the odds?
Right.
You know, usually you got to kind of have your shit together
right.
before you start shooting a movie.
Mm-hmm.
And this movie turned out great. And they, at least a part of it, they were making up as they went.
Right.
It's crazy.
Right. So, okay, go ahead.
Maximus is a composite fictional character, not a real historical person. He was inspired partly by Narcissus, the real-life wrestler and gladiator who actually strangled Commodus to death in 192 AD after a failed poisoning attempt by Commodus's concubine. So
he was also based on Spartacus and Marcus Nonius Macrinus.
Oh, that's a lot of S's.
Basically, it's just that guy was the real Roman general and the close companion of Marcus Aurelius. And then Spartacus was the famous slave who led the Gladiator rebellion. So it was the mixture of the three of them.
Yeah.
They made a fictional character because, as you know, Marcus Aurelius was a real person.
Yes.
And he was, this is probably one of the smallest things, but interesting for us today. He was a practitioner of stoicism.
Yeah.
He was not the founder.
He was one of the main influencers of it.
He was. The key Stoic figures, you probably know some of them.
Seneca.
Yeah.
Aurelius, that's all I know, just those two guys.
Somebody named Zeno of Citium.
Zeno is my buddy. I love that guy.
Oh, Zeno of Citium?
Yeah.
And then Epictetus? I'm butchering that.
Yes.
But he was the former slave whose teachings deeply influenced Marcus Aurelius. So Marcus Aurelius is considered the greatest Roman Stoic, and kind of the last major voice of that philosophy in the world. But these are Stoic ideas. So just in case you haven't read a book about Stoicism, this is basically what it's about. And you can kind of see these through Gladiator. The movie displays these as important. Focus only on what you can control. Virtue is the only true good. Power and wealth are meaningless. Death is nothing to fear. Serve others above yourself. So Maximus, as a character, he embodies almost all of these, which is why Marcus Aurelius trusted him so much.
I'm going to be swimming a little bit. I know this is early, but
That's all right.
I feel like Stoicism is different than what you just said. I think the common understanding of Stoic means invulnerable, impenetrable, numbing, no emotions. And what you just said was a lot different than that.
Well, again, you have to be nuanced because if you focus only on what you can control, you may to some be perceived as flat, like affect, like I'm going to look ahead. I'm not going to worry about that. I'm going to be unaffected. So I think all the things you just said are kind of maybe the negative aspects of Stoicism.
Yeah. And I guess my point is, it seems like Stoicism gets a bad rap. And of course, it's just one of many different ways in which somebody can be a human being, but it's not what I thought it was.
Well, and again, anytime you try and make something like Stoicism and narrow it down to like a few sentences, you're going to lose a lot of its nuance. Just like if you were to talk about Christianity, or you were to talk about self-help, or you were to talk about mindfulness, like they're way too nuanced. But the core principles are things you can control: your thoughts, your actions, your reactions, and your character. Things you do not control: weather, the past, the future, other people's actions, and external outcomes.
And just pause there. Like, this is totally rolling in the deep action, but how many of us spend a lot of our time worrying about things that we have no control over? I'm raising my hand
for sure,
big time.
And there's many other besides Stoicism. There's the locus of control. That may have been pulled from it. Again, I haven't done my research of when everything began and who pulled from who, but locus of control is you've got your inner circle. And then you've got your outer circle. What are you focusing your energy on? Because that outer circle of control, you don't have it.
Sure.
You have a lack of control.
Right.
You cannot make it not today, even though there was a time when people thought they could.
That's true.
So I don't think we could call Stoicism good or bad. What I think is that what conversations you and I have had in the past, maybe in our Zen Parenting radio days, was more about that Stoicism can feel very masculine.
Yes.
And it's not, it lacks some vulnerability.
Well, if you think about it, like virtuous, and I mean, those can be considered feminine qualities too. So,
and it depends on who's writing about it, who's sharing their experience. You know what I mean? Because everybody I just read to you, all the Stoics were men, right? So they're sharing it through the lens of masculinity. But women could take similar virtues and demonstrate how they use them through a different,
Can I go through a few scenes and just get your quick, like 1 or 2 sentence reactions from them?
After you do the scenes, can I do my top 10 list?
Sure. Oops, that's too loud.
Okay.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
What's funny is that's the soundbite I have for all podcasts. For all movies, when we do a podcast, it just so happens we're doing it on.
And what do we use it for?
Best scene.
Best scene, yeah.
So the opening battle in Germania. Any thoughts about that one, sweetie?
It's one of my favorites. I think when I first watched this movie, I would kind of like still be getting ready to sit down and relax in that opening scene, like kind of miss it. And now I don't miss it.
Right.
Because I think so much happens that sets the table for what the whole movie is going to be about, how Maximus, what kind of leader he is, how respected he is. The fact, like Todd, you asked last night, like, why is Marcus Aurelius even there?
Yeah.
Like, he's there.
Yeah. Why is the emperor? Emperor is supposed to be on a throne in Rome, but he's not that type of emperor.
Right. He's there. And Quintus is there, who actually kind of turns on, on Maximus, not because he wants to, but because he feels forced to by the changing of, the king.
Yeah.
He demonstrates how amazing he is. So why it's an important scene is it demonstrates what kind of leader he is, and the fact that the men follow him, and that what he has them line up to do, like the plan he has.
Yeah, he's a military strategist.
It works. And I think, tell me if I'm wrong, but that the reason they're waiting there before they start to fight is he's suggesting somewhat of a truce.
Yes, I think that is true.
And so he's waiting to hear if they will accept this truce.
Turns out the barbarians were not ready to accept the truce because the guy came back on a horse without his head with him.
And then they threw his head.
Yeah.
It was a little gross.
Yeah, it is.
So then, Maximus is like, let's do this then.
Game on.
And he wins.
Next scene, Marcus Aurelius tells Maximum his plan. Any comments, thoughts about that one, sweetie?
Moving.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate for Commodus because you learn in that scene that Maximus is the son that Marcus Aurelius never had. He tells him that literally. Tells him that Commodus is not a good man or a moral man, his own son. And he wants Mark. And I told you last night, it drives me crazy because he tells Maximus, I want you to take over, right? I want you to be my successor. But he falls short of telling his daughter. He kind of tells his daughter, but doesn't say it straight out. And nobody else knows.
Right.
And Maximus is like, give me some time. And he's like, I'll give you till sundown.
Yeah.
But nobody knew that Marcus Aurelius had chosen him.
Next scene, I'm going to play a little bit of it first, just because I like doing that. It's the scene where Marcus tells Commodus that he's not going to be
his successor,
which is kind of it doesn't land well. Let's just say that. So here we go.
That can be a virtue when it drives us to excel. Resourcefulness, courage. Perhaps not on the battlefield, but there are many forms of courage. Devotion to my family, to you. But none of my virtues won your list. Even then it was as if you didn't want me for your son.
Commodus, you go too far.
I search the faces of the gods. Always, please you, to make you proud. Kind word, one full hug. You pressed me to your chest and helped me down. Would have been like the sun, for 1,000 years.
It's hard to turn this off because it's such a powerful scene.
And his dad is so devastated, but he's also like, what?
Yeah.
Like there's like such a mixture of emotion going on there.
Well, in that moment, it's probably the only moment in the whole movie, I feel bad for the dude. This dude needs love from his father.
I know.
In the same way Gary needed love from his dentist dad in the movie Parenthood.
And then he took a hammer to his office.
Which is a little bit tamer than what Commodus does to his dad.
So because we're on this, can you give me my list, my top 10?
Oh, yeah.
Casey's Coast to Coast, please.
Countdown continues on our way to number 1.
Casey's Coast to Coast.
What do you got?
All right. So these are my top 10 reasons that Commodus is vile.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Ready.
Okay, so number 10 is he has tantrums.
A lot of tantrums.
All the time. And they kind of make me laugh. Like he literally stomps around and gets like sad and makes faces that, well, actually I shouldn't say the faces because that's my number 9, but he's like, but he's a dangerous child. It's not childish. Like even in that scene, Todd, and I know it's the music doing a lot of the work. Like I know there's a lot of things, but he scares me. Like as a man, okay, I've never met a Commodus. Okay, she's
probably good.
But I've felt that vibe before. Like somebody who is, it's not just about untrustworthy, that they say things and they're gonna hurt you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's some vibe that I feel that he does so well because it's perfect for this movie. And maybe that's why I think he should win Best Actor, because he captured something that maybe, and I, again, sorry to make this gender specific, but that I think women understand. And maybe it's what he's doing with Lucilla that causes that uncomfortable feeling. But anyway, number 9, his facial expressions during Maximus's first fight, when he's like, he's so excited to see the death. He's so excited to see the blood. And he, you know, and again, it's like a childlike tantrum, or not tantrum, like joy. He's like sticking out his tongue and he's like smiling and he loves it.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and we're going to talk more about why he brings those games back. Number 8, he basically decided to fight Maximus, but then wounded Maximus and then fought him. So he's just a cheater and a coward.
Was there poison on that thing?
I think that's the lore. We were kind of talking about that last night. He definitely stabs him in a pretty bad place, you know, like right in the ribs.
Yeah, right.
And so he's definitely, you know, Maximus is definitely weakened by all that blood loss, but supposedly there's a lot of lore that it also has, like you said, some kind of poison in it. Okay.
Yeah.
So that is number 8. Number 7, the dark circles under his eyes.
Yeah. Dude needs to take a nap.
Dude, I mean, it's perfect for his character. Like he's there's something wrong. I'm sorry. I'm like and I think a lot of it's the way they film it. There's shadows over his eyes. So, but there's something dark about him, and they capture that really well. Number 6. This is, like I said, we'll get into this more, but Commodus, before he knows that Maximus is supposed to be the leader, he thinks he's going to be the new emperor. And he's so excited because he's like, as soon as I'm emperor, I'm going to have 150 days of games. And that's like his big thing that he wants to do, not like lead the country to, you know, making sure that everybody's okay, or, you know, to seeing what the Senate thinks that they should do, because he's very young and has no experience.
Right.
He just wants to have games.
Yeah.
And so he's just very
man after my own heart, likes to have games.
And it's, you know, he gives a whole speech about how it's a fake vision.
Yeah.
He basically explains to Lucilla, like, the only reason people will love you is if you tell them that good things are coming and that what they're seeing is exactly how it's supposed to be. And if you give them that fake vision, they'll love you.
Yeah.
Like, it's very reminiscent of a certain leader that we all may know.
Yes.
Number 5, his relationship with Lucilla, which is incestuous. He loves her, wants to have her have his children to keep the bloodline pure, and he's obsessed with her. They never really show us, thank goodness, a scene
but
of
we're
them.
meant to believe that he has put his will upon her in the past,
I'm
right?
sure, right?
But
like,
I think he wants her to want to have sex with him.
Right.
And because she doesn't want to, he pulls off and is not interested, which is interesting. I figured he would just rape her.
Well, there was one scene where I feel like he passes out. Remember I said to you, did she give him, because remember the tonic she would give him?
Yeah.
She'd be like, I want you to drink this tonic. And so I wonder if that's what she did.
Yeah.
To like keep him off of her.
Yeah.
But it is pretty gross.
Yeah.
And then also Lucius, who is his nephew, he uses him as
and there's
a bartering tool.
Well, and there's possibility that he at least wanted to or had done inappropriate things to his nephew, I guess.
Yeah,
right?
there's like a scene that's a little uncomfortable.
Well, he's just staring at him while he's sleeping.
Yeah, and then he says he sleeps so soundly because he knows he's loved.
Yeah.
And there's something he wants from him.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if we're meant to read it as sexual, but it feels, again, that's the thing about this character. Everything feels gross. Number 4, I mean, this should probably be number 1. He murders, wife and child of Maximus. He has them murdered.
Yeah.
So, right? I mean, it's so cruel. And they basically torture them, burn them alive.
Yeah.
And then hang them. It's
rough
awful.
way to go.
Then number 3, which should probably be, again, it's hard to, once we're in this top 4, it's all disgusting. When he is in the circle in the Gladiator place, the Colosseum, and he and Maximus are kind of having words, and he tells him that his son squealed like a girl.
Mm-hmm.
And that his wife moaned like a whore.
Yeah.
Like just stabbing him with those words. And it's awful. And then number 2, you kind of played this, his speech about the 4 virtues.
Mm-hmm.
There are 4 virtues that were the virtues of a Roman soldier. And that is what Marcus Aurelius had.
Yeah.
And that is what Maximus demonstrated. And then the virtues that, he had, Commodus, they didn't follow that. They were much more about, and I'll talk about those later, but they were about his self-interest versus taking care of the other people. And then number 1, he murdered his dad.
Yeah.
I mean,
not cool, dude.
Not cool, Commodus. And then the only 2, these are my 2 things that I'll say, is that 2 reasons he's not vile. Number 1, he did not get love from his dad.
Yeah.
Not his fault. And number 2, what's the second reason he's not vile? I can't even think of it. And he should have won the Oscar. That's all.
Sweetie, who's a better villain?
Okay.
Commodus or?
You're very perceptive.
Oh, tough.
You're only going to get one.
They're so different.
Catch that.
I feel like I could kind of hang out with the guy, the diehard guy. Why is his name not coming to me?
Hans Gruber.
Hans Gruber had a little bit of a sense of humor.
Yeah, he did. And I actually did a whole thing when we did Die Hard.
Yeah.
My hot take was he wasn't that bad of a guy.
And he wanted money, but he wasn't really, but he did kill people. Like, I don't think I'd want to hang out with Hans Bubby.
Hans Bubby. He took care of Ellis, which is good. We all wanted Ellis dead anyways. It's fine.
So I think I would much rather hang out with Hans Gruber.
No doubt.
Yeah. Commodus
Hans Gruber, you could go out and have a beer with Hans Gruber.
Right.
Not so sure I'd want to, it would just be weird having a beer with Commodus.
You know what? And Hans Gruber would pay because he had a bunch of new bear bonds.
Yes, he did.
He did.
Yes, he did.
But he fell from the building, so.
He did.
He didn't survive.
No, not quite. And neither did Commodus.
No.
Nor Maximus.
No.
But John McClane did.
John McClane did, and Lucilla did, and Lucius did.
Bonnie Bedelia did.
Yeah. And so did that guy who did the news. And so did
Mr. Peck from Ghostbusters?
No. Johnson & Johnson. No. The guy who is the police officer. Yes. Who saves John McClane.
Yeah, the guy from the Urkel show.
Yeah, the guy from Family Matters.
Yeah. There you go.
So anyway, okay.
So glad we don't remember their names.
Todd, I only have so much space in this brain. And
Truth.
The fact that I can remember all these things about Commodus is enough for today.
Can we finish the best scenes?
Yeah, go ahead.
Maximus finds his family. That's a little.
That is not that scene. I don't know if you noticed, but I do not watch that.
And Cameron walked out of the room.
Yeah, I do not watch.
She's like, I'm done.
Yeah, that is Russell Crowe basically like going into a different state of being.
Well, that's hell.
It's hell. It's literally hell.
Thanks
and
a lot,
then
Commodus.
They do that weird like camera work where he's might be dead, but he's not.
Mm-hmm.
And then he meets
his buddy.
Jubo, I think his name is, who keeps saying, don't die.
Yeah.
Don't die.
And puts the maggots
he
in his shoulder.
He puts the maggots. I told Todd that if he ever had a wound, I'd put maggots in it for him.
Oh, what a sweetheart.
I know.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's.
The reveal in the Colosseum. Commodus enters the arena to congratulate the Spaniard. He demands to know his name.
Best.
And then he goes ahead and says it. I'm going to play a little bit of it
my
right
favorite.
Here.
My name is Maximus Decimus Meridius, commander of the armies of the North, general of the Felix Legions, loyal servant to the true emperor, Marcus Aurelius, father to a murdered son, husband to a murdered wife, and I will have my vengeance in this life or the next.
There we go.
I get goosebumps every time I hear that scene.
Yeah.
And seeing it, like when Commodus says, I'd like to meet him.
Yeah, let's meet this fella.
I get so excited. I'm like, you are going to be so bummed, Commodus.
Yes.
Sorry. And the fact that Lucius like loves Maximus.
Yeah. Well, if you're a woman and you're straight, it's hard not to love Maximus.
No, I'm not talking about Lucilla. She's always loved him.
Who?
Lucius, the boy.
Oh, Lucius. God, I thought you were talking about the sister.
Remember when he's like he's playing with the sword and he's like, why are you trying to be a legionnaire? And he's like, I'm Maximus.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
The Are You Not Entertained, which I think is within that same scene. Or no, that was the scene
it was
before.
earlier.
Maximus versus Tigris of Gaul. That's when the tigers got let loose.
Yeah. We got to suspend belief in this movie because I said to Todd, why do they come after him one at a time?
Yes.
Like, it's like everyone stands around until
waits for their turn to try
die.
to beat this guy.
Yeah.
Commodus confronts Lucilla, River. Joaquin at his most unsettling, incestuous undertones. That whole scene where he's putting his finger in her mouth.
Ugh. And then he puts it in his mouth.
Yeah. Yeah. He's a piece of work. And then the finale, the final duel between Maximus and Commodus. So that's kind of the scene by scene breakdown.
I love it.
All right.
Well, what's your favorite?
I don't really know. I mean, I have a very boring answer. I'd have to like see it again to see which one. But yeah, the reveal where
that's mine.
Everybody sees him. Yeah. So.
And it's hard to know because there's a scene before that isn't, worthy of like necessarily one of the best scenes, but when Maximus realizes what's going to happen and what he's going to do for a living now, because he's now a slave and he is going to be a gladiator, he's going to fight. He takes like a rock and starts like cutting his arm because he has a tattoo on his arm that demonstrates that he's a leader, that he is he's
trying to conceal everything.
Yeah, that he's a Roman hero, basically. And he's like, I got to get rid of that or else they're going to know who I am and kill me immediately.
Yeah.
But once he reveals who he is, by that time, everybody loves him and Commodus can't kill him because then the whole crowd will turn against him. But if they would have known before the first gladiator fight, they wouldn't have let him be a gladiator.
Oh,
Okay.
WTF?
Yeah, let's do WTF.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
Picked up a notch. Didn't it? What do you got for WTF?
Okay, so I wish we had a thing for, I guess we have the AI thing, but for my WTF, it's another version of Kathy Fights with AI.
Okay.
So basically I spent like 30 minutes fighting with AI and I'm just going to piecemeal and read to you why I was fighting with it. Okay. Because there's like layers to this. Okay. You ready?
Ready.
Do I have like an opening for you for this being I Fight with AI? Probably not.
Actually, I got something.
Okay.
Oh, not that one.
Shall we play a game?
There we go.
Let's see how you do against Joshua.
So I said for my WTF into AI, I said, wasn't there a fight at the White House last night? And Claude said, yes, it was a historic UFC event, ! UFC Freedom 250 took place last night on the South Lawn of the White House. It was a celebration of our 250th anniversary. It coincided with President Trump's 80th birthday. Trump watched cage side between his wife and Dana White, the CEO of UFC. Then he talks about who won, who lost. This is still Claude. And then it says, quite a night at the White House. Hey, were you watching? Okay, so I'm about to like go to town on AI. I said, absolutely not. I said, I think it's awful. And Claude said, fair enough. It is definitely a divisive event. A lot of people share that view for some reasons and then listed them. This is the White House grounds. It's a symbol of democratic governance. And having the UFC venue there is somewhat undignified. Number two, it blurs the line between presidency and entertainment in a way that makes us uncomfortable. Number three, the timing, doubling as Trump's birthday celebration, made it feel more like a personal party for him when the taxpayers paid for it. The next one, critics pointed out the irony of celebrating this anniversary, a republic founded on serious ideals with a cage fight, and then it cost us money and tied us up security-wise. And then he talked about then the still AI, the bread and circuses angle, which comes from the Roman Empire. Interesting that we're having a conversation also about Gladiator. This is almost exactly what Commodus did in the movie, using spectacle and public entertainment to generate popularity and distract from governance.
Yep.
The parallels are pretty striking, and Marcus Aurelius would not approve.
No.
So I said, right. So if you know who the villain in Gladiator is, why are you playing both sides on this?
Yeah.
And it said,
pick a side.
Here's AI. Right. That's a fair challenge. And I'm going to be straight with you.
Uh-oh.
You're right that I drew the Commodus comparison myself, and then I hedged by presenting both sides. That was cowardly of me. Okay. Put him up. Put him up. And then he said, is it a he, it? The honest distinction I draw is this. The bread and circuses criticism, that means bread and circuses is from the Roman Empire when they would do the games to distract from real governance. Mm-hmm. That's all it means. And that was what they used in the Hunger Games. Okay. So bread, the word bread is Panem, which is the town in the Hunger Games, or their whole world is called Panem.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway. So it says that this is, blah, 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 blah. This is a pattern that preceded the decline of our institutions throughout history. Rome is our most famous example. That's not a partisan opinion. It's a pattern historians have documented for centuries. The Colosseum comparison isn't really unfair. It really is the same. And then and then he finished by saying, Commodus would have loved last night. And I said, right. And it's done to distract us from governance and make money. So in what version is this good for our country? And it said, Claude said, you're making a strong argument and I don't have a good counter to it. You lay it out plainly. And then it says, we've been talking about this film and the parallels you're drawing are completely coherent. I don't think there's a version where last night was good for the Republic.
Put him up. Put him up.
I just think that was really interesting.
Yeah.
And I'm frustrated that the first thing it said to me, though, was great excitement about it. And I do get it because there are some people who used AI yesterday trying to figure out how to get there to the South Lawn. And some people were excited about who was going to be fighting. It's just interesting. We know, so Commodus in Gladiator and President Snow in the Hunger Games both do games to distract from governance. They do games because they don't want to talk about what they're doing to make people's lives better. They want people to, they call it to have bread and circuses. They want them to eat entertainment. Okay. So they are the villains of these stories. So why in our real world right now do we not say that? Like, why do we not say what's happening? Right?
I'm totally with you, babe. 100% with you.
WTF.
Definitely belongs in the WTF
So
category.
that is all I have to say about that.
Secret, I got a secret.
Why Mr. Roboto?
I don't know. Like, isn't Mr. Roboto some like futuristic?
Because AI?
Yeah, AI.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, and as long as we're talking about Hunger Games, I'll just say for fun to lighten the mood that Katniss in the Hunger Games is essentially a gladiator who does exactly what Maximus does, learns how to win the crowd, becomes a symbol of resistance.
Yeah, there you go.
And does exactly what Maximus did in Gladiator. So just FYI.
My only WTF is Quintus.
Yeah. I'm with you. Quintus is hard to
Maximus's
follow.
loyal lieutenant betraying him to Commodus, and then in the final duel, refusing to hand Commodus a weapon to kill Maximus, a man who sold out his friend and then couldn't finish the job. So Quintus, not cool, buddy.
And I think the way I felt in that final scene with Quintus last night is because basically, as Todd said, Commodus is like, Quintus, hand me my sword. And he doesn't. But I think it's because in that moment, that's just full on cheating.
Yeah.
Your sword has been knocked out of your hand.
Yeah.
You have lost that fight.
Commodus is a cheater, sweetie.
And if Quintus is like, oh, here, sir, here's your sword. That's just full on cheating. And I think Quintus, for as much as he did turn on Maximus, he also has a boundary maybe that can't be crossed.
I don't know. I think he saw the writing on the wall saying, I don't know if Commodus is going to make it out of here, so I'm going to flip sides.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
I have my own top 5.
Let's hear it.
It's going to be quick, and I'm going to challenge you to answer a question you probably don't want to answer, but I'll ask you anyway.
The countdown continues on our way to number 1.
Casey's Coast to Coast.
The top 5 ways to die in the arena.
Okay.
Eaten by a chained tiger.
Yeah, that would suck. No one got eaten by a tiger, though.
No, these are all hypotheticals, but all are presented as possibilities. Bisected by a chariot wheel.
Yeah, that was rough.
Decapitated by dual swords.
Rough. And those dual swords are both Maximus's.
Yes. A spear through the iron helmet.
Rough.
And trampled by a warhorse. What's your preference of dying?
Or taking that chain through... Remember when they worked together and they put that chain through that woman?
I thought it was the chariot that the woman got sliced in half.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe you're right.
What do you want?
I want none of them.
I know, but you have to choose one.
I don't want any of them.
I would take getting bisected by the chariot wheel. I don't think there's much pain there. Decapitated by dual swords sounds actually really good. Trampled by a warhorse, bad.
Yeah.
And eaten by a chained tiger, bad. Even though they go for the throat pretty quick. So
yeah,
that's my those are my top 5.
Yeah, I just don't want any of them.
Yeah.
I would like to be Maximus or people on Maximus's team where they live.
Yeah. Okay, where do you want to go next?
So
let's go rolling in the deep.
Okay, let's do it.
What do you got?
Okay, so this is where I want to talk about the 4 virtues of Rome. Okay, so as I talked about before when I was talking about Commodus, Commodus has 4 virtues, but the actual 4 virtues of Rome are wisdom, justice, fortitude, and temperance.
Yeah, that's what Marcus Aurelius says, right?
Correct. And these are the classical 4 cardinal virtues from ancient Greek and Roman philosophy. Obviously, Marcus Aurelius did not make these up for the film. This wasn't like something, they took this from the time.
Sure.
They were central to Stoic philosophy, and, that's what Marcus Aurelius followed. But Commodus basically says to his dad about 3 minutes before he murders him, he's like, you sent me a letter once and you told me that the 4 virtues were wisdom, justice, fortitude, and temperance. But Commodus didn't like that.
No.
You want to know why?
Because he didn't have any of them.
He didn't have any of them.
Yeah.
So he said, but father, I had ambition.
Yeah.
Which, good for you. Resourcefulness.
Yeah.
Courage.
Yeah.
And he actually says, maybe not the kind of courage that some people have.
Yeah.
But I've got a type of courage. I don't know what that type of courage is.
Safe courage.
Safe courage where he fights people outside of the arena for play.
Yeah.
And then devotion to his family. But his devotion tends to run into incest.
As a guy who's devoted to his family, I'm just going to go out and say, killing your dad by smothering him and wanting to have sex with your sister and maybe your nephew.
And maybe kill your nephew.
Not very devoted to the family. So
he's a little confused. So Marcus Aurelius's virtues are about serving others in society, which we know is what Maximus believes in, and Commodus's virtues are entirely about himself.
Yeah.
And he knows it's just so like, I'm going to make up my own.
Yeah.
Like he basically is mad at his dad and is like, but I have these virtues and it's like, you don't love me and you don't see them. And his dad's like, yeah, because that's not what I'm talking about, dude. It's not what it's about.
And he even says it. Marcus says, all your failings as a person is because I was a shitty dad.
Right. So that's the thing is that, and that was my one reason that he's not vile is he didn't create himself.
No.
Like he had things done to him.
I'm guessing Marcus spent a lot of time at work. and not so much hanging out with his son.
Totally at the office.
Floor. Yeah, he's at the office too much.
He's at the office, also hanging out with Maximus a lot, you know, like developing a relationship with another son.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. This is very like random. Sorry to bring a very like chill show into this, but you know, we just finished watching Hacks, and I highly recommend watching Hacks. But it was interesting how a lot of people that I noticed on social media were pissed that Deborah and Ava basically spend the majority of you know, season 5 together, and it's all about their relationship, which really the show is all about their relationship. It's their love story, their, you know, friendship love story. And everyone's like, what about DJ? What about her daughter? Why isn't she with her daughter? And, you know, sometimes you develop connections and relationships with other people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's called being a human being.
Right. Like, and the thing is they gave DJ an episode in Hacks where they showed that she and Deborah did connect and come together, and Deborah gave her an opportunity to be on, you know, I don't want to ruin it for people who haven't seen it, but you know, like it was great.
Babe.
I'm not going to spoil.
Okay.
But it's nice, but that's the reality, right? It's not, but Commodus is like, it shouldn't have been that way. I mean, I get it. Like, he probably raised him. Who's their mom? Who's the mother in this?
She's not around. I can do a little research to see who is
find out.
Marcus Aurelius. Did he have a wife? Let me find out.
Yes. And because his sister, Lucilla, is older. Like if she would have been a man, she would have been Caesar. And the Caesar, by the way, just because in case you don't know, obviously it came from Julius Caesar, and once you were the emperor, they just called you Caesar. You guys may know that from history, but
he did have a wife. Her name was Faustina the Younger.
Oh, very literal.
Named Younger to differentiate her from her mother, Faustina the Elder.
Oh,
well, they got a lot. Okay. They were married for 30 years, and their partnership is one of the most fascinating, heavily gossiped about relationships in ancient Roman history. They had a massive family. The Roman gossip columns loved her.
Okay.
I didn't know the Romans had gossip columns.
Sure, there's a lot of gossip.
Marcus Aurelius absolutely adored her. Despite all the ancient rumors of infidelity, Marcus Aurelius fiercely defended and loved his wife. The Gladiator connection, Faustina, is completely omitted because the movie starts in 180 AD, 5 years after her death.
Okay, there we go. So was mom around? Did Commodus feel the love? But Commodus didn't feel seen by his father. And Todd, it's yet another movie about the father wound.
Yes, it is.
We have
a lot of that going around these days,
especially in our summer blockbusters.
Yeah.
Top Gun.
Is Jaws next week?
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
What's next week?
I think next week's The Dark Knight.
Okay.
We're still debating Jaws. All right. I mean, maybe I'll like it more when I watch it again. See, this was fun for me because and Raiders is so fun, and Top Gun is so fun because I love these movies and I watch them all the time. Jaws, you know,
what are the other ones on the list? Do you remember?
The Dark Knight was on there, and Terminator 2.
Oh yeah, T2.
I would do that. I've seen that a lot.
Let's do T2 next.
Okay, I'm in.
Such a good movie.
Okay, so what else do I have for after the virtues?
Rolling in the deep. What else you got?
I have the virtues, and then I'll just say this: rolling in the deep. The tragedy of Lucilla as this, like, Todd and I, when we're doing this podcast, we put our names. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see that we have our names listed, and we always list someone from the movie.
Sure.
And Todd is Marcus, as in Aurelius.
I didn't feel
worthy of
Maximus.
And of course, I tend to take the female role because there's often only one woman in these movies. But sometimes none. But this time I didn't want to be Lucilla. I wanted to be Cicero, who is Maximus's best friend, who does not betray him and helps him get his men to help with the coup.
You picked a fine time to leave me, Lucilla.
Well, anyway.
4 hungry children and a crop.
I want to be like, oh, Lucilla, because I think we discussed last night that she ends up telling what the plan is, because
she's protecting her son.
Because Commodus is saying, if you don't, I will kill your son.
Yes.
So she's kind of rocking a hard place. And so,
although it would have been cool for them to overthrow and did a coup, but they didn't.
Well, there was still a coup. Like, didn't he still? No, there wasn't. They didn't get the men. He went out to see Cicero, and Cicero was hung.
Yeah.
But he says Maximus, it's just awful. Anyway, but she's a tragic character because she has no power.
Yeah.
Because she's a woman.
She's caught between a rock and a hard spot.
And she's also part of the royal bloodline, and that she's expected to do things. And she is intelligent, and she actually makes the plan and gets Gracchus be the senator who's going to speak for Maximus. And, she makes the plan, and she's willing to risk herself, but it just doesn't work out.
No, it doesn't.
So that's a little bit of a tragic thing. And I think that is complete for Rolling in the Deep. Like, I kind of feel like in my WTF, I went over. You know what? One thing I'll say is another, and this is another piece. I may have already said this when my discussion with AI, but this movie is really about powers. And what Marcus Aurelius wants and what Maximus wants is for the Senate to be the most powerful, because the Senate speaks for the people. And then the emperor then is the leader who makes sure it gets done, that the people get what they want. What Commodus wants is to be an emperor where it's an autocracy. Am I saying that right? An autocracy? He wants to be he likes fascism. He wants to be in charge. He wants to be a dictator. He wants to be the person who decides. And he says it a number of times. He's like, I want to do it myself. He's like, you can join me, Lucilla. I'm going to decide. I want the people to love me. I want to make the decisions for them. I want to hold them tight to me, which basically all he wants is, he has such a lack of love in his life. He wants everyone to idolize him. And he doesn't understand that you don't just get to demand that. That's something you earn, like Maximus. So it really is talking about the politics of the time. And even though I did some research about, when did the Roman Empire fall after this experience, and it was another 300 years after Commodus took over. But most historians say that his leadership was the beginning of the end.
I was about to say all that.
Okay.
So you beat me to the punch, which is great, but I have a new soundbite.
Good.
I'll call her Molly. History would call her the unseekable Molly.
So she just said history. So it's my history lesson.
She threw the diamond in the water.
Yes, she did. I thought it was interesting because they say the Roman Empire was so vast that it did take a long time for it to crumble.
It did.
A lot of people have drawn parallels to how the United States is currently structured.
Yep.
For a lot of different reasons.
Yep.
Commodus versus, in comparison to our present president, but additionally, just the idea that we have literally trillions of dollars
in debt
is just not good for our financial stability.
Correct.
I'd say. So, but I just found it was interesting that the historical context of this movie is the first marker of when the shit hit the fan. So
Marcus Aurelius had a dream for the country, and he actually said, there was like a really great quote, and I think I have it, about the dream for the country is so fragile that let's see, I think I have it, but our ink ran out. I'm on a page with quotes, but I can't read it because our ink ran out.
We got to replace that ink, sweetie, in
our printer. And the reason it ran out is Todd doesn't like to replace the ink until it's completely gone.
That's right.
But, is that bad?
No.
But what ends up happening is that I then print things and I can't read them. So anyway. So Marcus Aurelius said, there was a dream that was Rome. You could only whisper it, anything more than a whisper, and it would vanish because it was so fragile. So it's like, it reminds me of our country and what we want this country to be, right? Yeah. The dream of the country. Like when we talk about having pride in our country, there's obvious choices that this country has made or behaviors that are not okay and that I don't believe in and stand behind. But the dream of the country I stand behind it. Like what we wanted to do was to bring all these cultures together and be, democracy and allow the people to be who they are and worship as they want and find family in each other and live amongst each other. Like our idea was beautiful. And
it's not going well presently.
Presently, we're having UFC fights, cage matches. But anyway, I don't know where we are, but I do have a bunch of quotes that I love.
Okay, do those, and then we got to do the music game because I got 8 minutes.
All right. Okay, we can do it, Todd. We can do it.
All right.
So quotes, do we have any like opening music for my quotes?
I think I have a best quote category.
Force be with you.
There we go.
May the force be with you.
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 May the force be.
There you go.
Okay, I'm going to work really hard because again, the ink is not great. Okay,
I have a bunch too.
My favorite. These are some of my favorite quotes, and Todd, you say whatever you want about them.
Okay.
The first one is, "You have a great name. He will need to kill your name before he kills you." Do you remember that?
Mm-mm.
So basically, Maximus, everybody knows his name. Everybody trusts him as a person and a human being. And so Commodus cannot kill him until he ruins his reputation.
Yeah.
And then my favorite, number 2, from Commodus himself, "He vexes me." I'm terribly vexed.
That's good.
That was when he finds out Maximus is alive.
Yes. That is one. That's the line of the whole movie as far as I'm concerned.
Because he's sitting there like at his desk. He's like, "He vexes me." Terribly vexed. Number 3, which is kind of the line of the movie, the tagline, "What we do in life echoes in eternity," which is basically, whatever we're doing here now, this is what we're supposed to be. We're supposed to be good people now.
Yeah.
And it'll echo through eternity. Number 4, if only you had been a man, what a Caesar you would have been. I already said that. Number 5, that when Marcus Aurelius says, "Commodus is not a moral man," and he says, "You are the son I should have had." Let's see. And then this was a good moment. This was Maximus saying this to Commodus. "I knew a man once who said that death smiles at us all. All a man can do is smile back." And Commodus says, "I wonder, did your friend smile at his own death?" And Maximus says, "You must know he was your father." So he's basically saying, "I know you killed him."
That's what I call a burn.
And and then the last one I'll do, so I give you some time to do your own. Commodus says to Maximus when he challenges him, Commodus says, "Do you think I am afraid?" And Maximus says, "I think you've been afraid your whole life." Amen.
Drop the mic.
Right? Okay, go ahead, Todd.
On My Signal, Unleash Hell. We haven't
Yes.
talked about that one.
Yes.
Are you not entertained? We did play that.
Yes.
What we do in life echoes in eternity. You
I
just said that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll have my vengeance in this life or the next.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a dumb one. Win the crowd and you'll win your freedom.
Proximo says
And
that.
then that last one that you just said, I think you've been afraid your whole life. Like that's the best one. So
Yeah, and that Proximo one, win the crowd and you win your freedom. Again, very Hunger Games-esque. It's just basically like give them a show and they'll want you around.
boom.
So
Are you ready for music game action?
I am. I've got to.
All right, so this is a category where Kathy and I each pick a song that kind of like
Captures the vibe.
captures the vibe. 3 words. Love it. How kind of quick that is. So I'm going to go first. And I used this in the past, but we got to do it again.
You can't use Eye of the Tiger.
Yeah, I can.
Oh, wait, because there's tigers?
Yeah. Pretty much because there's tigers, but also Maximus has the Eye of the Tiger the entire movie.
He does. But it's so rocky.
No.
Okay.
It's
Okay, I will give you the fact that Maximus has the Eye of the Tiger and there are real tigers.
yeah, and he trains to fight.
True.
You know,
He doesn't train to fight. He just knows how to fight. He trains a little.
he does a little bit.
Because remember when they're trying to get
Yeah.
him to train, he
Yeah.
won't even do it.
Right.
Okay. Mine, because I always try and find a song from that time period. I don't really love this band, but I thought it fit really well. This song came out in year 2000. It's by a band called Linkin Park. It's called In the End. And the reason I chose it, it's because it's about, did what we do in our life really matter?
Mm-hmm.
Like, did all the work I put in really matter in the end? And it's a real, and the way the song sounds feels like Gladiator. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like even the sound effects, it just feels like a fight. And unfortunately, the lead singer, Chester Benningfield, I think his name was, or Bennington, I can't remember, but he died by suicide.
Yeah.
He had been bullied and abused his whole life, and he talked about it a lot. And then that was it. So it's, you know, it's rough. But this song has that like angst to it, don't you think?
I'm not familiar with this song, but it's pretty good. So we're just going to let Linkin Park play us out. Next week, Terminator 2.
And if you haven't watched Gladiator, you guys, go see it again. Listen to all of our summer blockbusters. Go back in our catalog. Listen to all the movies we've done so far. Follow us on social media. Follow my Substack, my Zen Moment Substack. Listen to our Zen Moment podcast, which is connected to my Substack. And thank you for being here.
Keep trucking.
Acting like I was part of your... Remembering all the times you fought with me, I'm surprised it got